Welcome, and let's react to this question by one of our fans. Let's do it together, okay? If you know what to do, you can drop your own method in the comments. If you don't, join me, let me show you how best to answer this. Now, when you look at this question, what does it remind you of? You see, we are given this and we are asked to get the value of this. So what do? When you look at what is given, you will notice that this is variable A and this is variable A. So whenever you have the same variable in an equation and one of them is raised to a power of 2, what does it remind you of? It reminds you of quadratic equation because of this. So let's see how to solve this equation quadratically, then get the values of A and then substitute here. And I hope you are ready for that. So to do this, we are going to now have solution. So this is what we have. We have A squared minus 1 over A is equal to 2. Now we can make this to be over 1. This will multiply, you cross multiply. A squared multiplies 1 will give us A squared. And when 1 multiplies, we have negative 1. This multiplies will give us 2A. So what do we do again? Because you are targeting quadratic, we need to collect all the terms to be at the left side so that the equation will be equal to 0. So in that case, we are going to have A squared. Remember, this is positive, so we subtract 2A from both sides to eliminate this. So we have minus 2A, then this will be negative 1. If you subtract here, it gives you 0. So you see we have gotten a quadratic equation. So we're going to solve this. There are a lot of methods. You can choose any convenient. So, but when you look at this, we can easily use formula method, okay? And the formula method say, if I have this, we are going to use A as the root of this will now be negative B plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. This to use to get the root of the equation, we call it the quadratic formula. Okay, now what does this mean? Just remind yourself of the general quadratic, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now, when you compare it with what you have here, what does it give you? You see that this is, we have a squared, this giving us a squared minus 2a minus 1 equal to 0. So you know what to put in the formula are these values. You see these terms here. So you see the coefficient of a squared here is 1. So it means that this a will be 1. Okay, so our a is 1. Then coefficient of x here is b. Then this will be what? This is negative a. So we are going to say that our b is negative 2. Okay, now this one, our c is the constant. So our c will give us negative 1. So we're going to kill this into this formula to get the root of that equation. So we now have negative from the formula, then our b is negative 2. Okay, please take note of it. Plus or minus square root of, we have our b as negative 2, you raise to the power of 2, minus 4, then multiply by a. What is our a? Our a is 1, and our c is negative 1. Please, if you want to know more about quadratic equation and how to solve, I'll link the link in the comments, okay? So we now have all over 2. Then our a here is 1, so we multiply by 1. So let's simplify. We have a will give us, if you multiply this, it gives you positive 2 plus or minus. Negative 2 squared is negative 2 multiplied 2 times. And when negative multiplies negative, it gives you positive. So we're going to have 4. Then negative 4 multiplies 1 is negative 4 times this will give us positive 4 all over. Multiply this, you have 2. So it means that our a will be 2 plus or minus, add this, you are going to have square root of 8 all over 2. So what do? There is a perfect square in 8, and that is 4. Okay, so we're going to bring it out. So we have a is equal to 2 plus or minus square root of, that perfect square is 4, and when you multiply 4 by 2, it gives you 8, and this is all over 2. So we can now say that a is 2 plus or minus 4 is a perfect, and its square root is 2. So you're going to bring that square, that value you got out. Then this 2 here is not perfect, okay? So you leave it in the root. That is the surd or the radical value. Then we have it divided by 2. So what do you do at this point? You are going to see that The 2 is common in both the numerator and denominator. So we are going to factor it out to now have 2. Remember, this can be splitted to be 2 divided by 2 plus or minus 2 root 2 divided by 2, because the denominator is 2. So we can cancel out. Here is 1. So a is 1. Cancel this, we are having plus or minus square root of 2. So this becomes the value of a. Now what we are going to do now is to substitute this a in this expression, okay, to get the value of what we have. Now there are two ways or more than that you can use to do this, okay. The one way is to substitute this directly into this and then start simplifying. If you are good at working with radicals, you can do it directly, substitute this directly into this and start reducing it, okay? But if you are not good at working with radicals, let me show you another method to use. So from here, what do you do now? What you are going to do is, we need to remember that this is this, okay? So in that case, we can say, we're going to have it that from here, we have seen that this is what we are given, okay? So what it means is that we can also say a squared minus a over a is equal to 2. And we said it earlier that a squared minus 1 is equal to this multiplies will give us 2a. Then we also said that a squared is equal to, so to get your a squared, we want to make a squared the subject. So if you want to make it subject, you need to add 1 to both sides to remove this. So that will give us a squared. Add 1 here, becomes 0, okay? Then add it here, becomes 2a plus 1. So let's use this now to reduce this expression and then substitute the value of a, okay? So let's do it together. So in that case, since this is our a, now look at what we are asked to evaluate. Now what do you do now? From that point, you are going to have it that we are going to have a raised to power of 6 minus 1 over a is equal to, remember your rule of exponent. There's this rule that says if you have a raised to power m raised to power n, it means a raised to power m times n. Okay, so this a raised to power 6, you know, we can also, there's another rule that says a raised to power m multiply a raised to power n is a raised to power m plus n. These are going to guide us. Okay, now let's see to that. So if you apply this here, a raised to power 6 is the same as a raised to power 2 multiply a raised to power 2 multiply a raised to power 2, then minus 1 all over a. Why is this true? Since it's multiplying, following this, what we did was to add the power to be m plus n. So here, you can now pick 1a and add 2 plus 2 plus 2 to give you 6. Did you see that? So you see we are still the same. This is the same as this. It's just for us to use it to simplify using the a squared we've already blocked. This is the same as a squared raised to power of 2 for this, multiply a squared minus 1 all over a. Multiply this, it gives you 4. It's the same as what when you add this to still give you back 4. So in that case, a squared is what? Our a squared is 2a plus 1. So let's substitute. We have 2a plus 1, replacing this from here. Then raise it to the power of 2, multiply by our a. Our a squared is still 2a plus 1, then minus 1 all over a. So let's expand this. We are going to use our binomial, okay, which says that a plus b squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So let's apply it here. We're going to have 2a, you square it. It will give us what? 4a squared, okay? Then use 2 to multiply this. It will give you 4a. Then square this, it gives you 1. Then we are going to have this put together and is equal to what? So we're going to have multiply again by 2a plus 1 minus 1 all over a. So let's add this. Remember, this a square, we are going to still remove it using 2a plus 1. So in that case, we're going to have 4 into 2a plus 1 plus 4a plus 1. Okay, then is multiplying 2a plus 1 minus 1 all over a. So if you simplify again, you are going to have this will multiply, we have 8a plus this multiplies this will give you 4. So we have 4 here plus 4a plus 1, then multiplying 2a plus 1 minus 1 all over a. Okay, so let's simplify again. So we're going to now have, we take it to this side. So in that case, we are going to have, this is going to give us 8a plus this will give us 12a. This plus this will give us 5. Then we are multiplying it with 2a plus 1 minus this one all over a. So we're going to also simplify. Use this to multiply this. We are expanding. It will give you 24a squared. Use it also here. It will give you 12a. Use this here. It will give you 10a. And use it here. It will give you 5. Then minus 1. Okay? Then divided by a. Now remember, each time you see a squared, you have to replace with 2a plus 1. So let's still replace it with our 2a plus 1. So we're going to have 24 into 2a plus 1, replacing a squared, plus 12a plus 10a. This will give us 4 all over a. So let's still expand with this. So we're going to have what? 48a plus, this will multiply to give us 24, plus add this, we are going to have 22a plus 4 all over a. So what do you do again? At this point, what we need to do is to also collect our terms together. So in that case, we are going to have 48 plus 22a will give us 70a. So that will give us 70a. Add 24 plus 4, it will give you 28. Divide it by this a. So at this point, you see that a can divide each term to give us, this will give us 70a over a plus 28 over a. So what do you do again? We're going to now have, this a will cancel, we have 70 plus 28 all over a. Now at this point, you are not replacing a again. What you need to do is to get the actual value of a we got in the question. And what is that value of a? We said that our a is equal to, our a is 1 plus root 2, 1 plus or minus root 2. So let's replace it. So we're going to work with both the positive and the negative. So in that case, we are going to have, substituting it, we have 70 plus 28 all over, take a when it's positive, so we're going to have 1 plus square root of 2. Okay, now you see that this has led you to radical. So what you need to do is to rationalize the denominator. So to rationalize it, you are going to conjugate this denominator. Okay, conjugate is to change sign. So that's going to give us 70 plus, you have 28 over 1 plus square root of 2. So we're going to conjugate this. So in that case, we are going to multiply by 1, change the sign now to this, and this will give us 1 minus root 2. Doing this is said to rationalize. That's what it means to rationalize. Okay, so we're going to have, remember, these are together. Until you simplify this, whatever thing you get, you add it to 70. So this is going to give us 70 plus this 28, we multiply 1, because this is an expression also, and it will give you 28. It will also multiply this to give you negative 28 square root of 2. Okay, all over. Then to expand this, let's use our difference of two squares, which says a squared minus b squared is a plus b and a minus b. So you see that this is like this. So it means this can be simplified as 1 squared minus square root of 2 squared. So we're going to now have 70 plus, we are having 28. Please, you cannot subtract this, they are unlike terms. Okay, so you still have it as 28 minus 28 root 2 all over. 1 squared is 1, and this square will cancel the square root, you have -2. So if you simplify this, you are going to have 70 plus, this is going to give us 28 minus 28 square root of 2. If you subtract this, it gives you -1. So we're going to use this -1 to divide this numerator. In that case, we have 70. When negative divides positive, it gives you negative. When it divides this, it gives you positive. So you see what we have. So we're going to subtract this. If you subtract this, it gives you, this is going to give us 42 plus 28 root 2. And this is what we get for putting in the positive value. So we're going to do for the negative value, but having gotten this, the negative value for when our a is 1 minus square root of 2, it will just simply be, it will now be 42. Just change the sign from being positive to negative, okay? Because when you worked with it, when it was positive, you see, we got this. So when it is negative, it will just be 48 minus 28 square root of 2. So that are the two values of what we have for simplifying this. And I hope this helps you a lot. You can still try it again. Substitute this into what we have, substitute it here, and see if it will still give you this. Let's know about that in the comment section. And I hope this helps you. Let's know how much in the comment. Remember, you can share this, subscribe for the more you get, and give this tutorial a thumbs up. And bye-bye.